Hi everybody, I have a book here called A is for Antarctica, and this is going to help us learn a little bit more about Antarctica. It is by Jonathan Chester. A is for albatross. These giant seabirds roam the oceans at the bottom of the world. This is for Aurora australis. Multicolored curtains of light often shimmer in the Antarctic night skies. However, they are only visible in winter, as in midsummer sky is light around the clock. Oh, I didn't know that. So in the summer in Antarctica, it is bright all the time. So that's the Aurora australis. We have the Aurora borealis up here on the northern hemisphere. B is for boat, balloon, and boots. Boat, expeditioners often ride from ship to shore in inflatable boats. That's that right there. Balloons are used by meteorologists to study the weather. And warm boots must be worn at all times. Very important to keep your feet warm. C, crevasse and compass. Giant cracks form in the ice when glaciers twist and turn. Deep crevasses are icy blue in color. An ordinary compass becomes inaccurate when close to the magnetic pole. A sun compass on the bottom is more reliable in Antarctica. So that's the compass that we would usually use. Near the pole, they have to use a special kind of compass. I did not know that. D is for dog and dolphin. Some special breeds of dogs have a thick double layer of fur and can live out in the snow the whole year round. Dolphins. This hourglass dolphin is the only species of dolphin found in Antarctic waters. So there's a dog that can stay out in Antarctica all year round, and a dolphin, the hourglass dolphin. E is for explorers. In 1909, the first party of explorers reached the South Magnetic Pole. In 1988, the first team climbed to the summit of Mount Minto, the highest peak in North Victoria Land. So this is for explorers. We are still learning so much about Antarctica. F is for fossils. Fossil fish indicate that millions of years ago, many parts of Antarctica were under the sea. And F is for footprints. Climbers leave footprints in the soft snow as they cross a glacier. So he's looking for fossils, and I see footprints in the snow. G is for glacier. A glacier is massive rivers of ice flow. Massive rivers of ice flow to the sea. When they begin to break off and float, icebergs are formed. So rivers of ice are flowing and then they break into pieces to make icebergs. Greenpeace, this international environmental organization, has taken an active role in the preservation of Antarctica as a wilderness. So they're making it so that we cannot so that it stays a wilderness, so that it's protected and it's not built up into cities and things. Huskies. H is for huskies. These powerful snow dogs have pulled sledges across Antarctica ice for nearly 100 years. And a hut. The wooden hut built by the famous Antarctic explorer Douglas Mawson and his expedition is no longer weatherproof. A nearby modern fiberglass hut provides much more secure shelter. So here's huskies pulling a sled. And this is the hut that they used, I think it's a long time ago. But look, it no longer keeps the ice and snow out. Now they make them out of fiberglass and it stays warm. It keeps the elements out. I is for icicles. And iceberg and icebreaker. When the sun melts the snow, it sometimes refreezes into beautiful tapers of ice formed by dripping water. An iceberg. Only a fraction of these floating islands of ice can be seen above the surface of the ocean. Some icebergs are hundreds of meters deep and thousands of square kilometers in area. They are very large. Icebreaker. These ships have specially strengthened hulls and very powerful engines. They can break through thick ice and are used to deliver supplies to the scientific bases around the Antarctic. So here are the icicles and icebergs, and that's an icebreaker. The icebreaker breaks through the ice to bring supplies. J is for jacket and junk. Jacket is a warm jacket and hood are essential protection against the freezing cold and icy winds of Antarctica. Junk, rubbish left behind by the early explorers, is today preserved as historic artifacts. Modern junk, however, is loaded into containers and shipped back to where it came from. So here she's wearing her jacket. These are things that were left. So we've been in Antarctica for 111 years. I think it said 1909. And originally, they kind of left stuff behind. That was junk. Now we look at that as historical artifacts. This is junk that's left behind. They clean that up because we don't want to litter Antarctica any more than we want to litter our Earth here. K is for krill. These are tiny shrimp-like creatures which live in the sea. They are the main food for most of the fish, birds, seals, and even the giant whales in Antarctica. So lots of the animals in Antarctica eat krill. And L is for light. A powerful searchlight helps the ship's captain navigate at night through the pack ice. So here's krill and light. Look how bright that light is. M is for moon mountains. A beautiful moon rises over the dramatic transantarctic mountains, a chain of peaks that stretches all the way across the Antarctic continent. Moss. These simple plants grow in warmer, moist areas, such as the sub-Antarctic islands and on the Antarctic Peninsula. Elsewhere in Antarctica, it is mostly too cold for mosses to survive. So, these are the moon mountains, and here is moss. And the moss, there are some places in Antarctica that are warm enough for moss to grow. N is for nest. The snow petrel nests in cracks in the rocky outcrops around the coast. And Nunatak, the name the Inuit Eskimo gave to a peak of rock projecting above the ice cap. Only between 2 and 4% of Antarctica is snow-free. So most of Antarctica is covered with snow and ice. So, a nest. Oh, and look, there's a baby in that nest. And Nunatak. O is for oasis. In Antarctica, this is the name given to regions of low rocky land that are permanently free of snow and ice. Ocean. The Antarctic continent is completely surrounded by stormy oceans. So the oasis is where there's no snow or ice, and it's surrounded by ocean. It is an island. P is for penguins. These flightless swimming birds are found only in the southern hemisphere. Some species, such as the adelies and the stately emperors, are found only in the Antarctic, while others, like the king penguin, are found in the sub-Antarctic. Look at all those penguins. And penguins cannot fly, they swim. Q is for quad. Four-wheeled motorbikes, quads with their balloon tires, have become a popular means of travel around some research stations in Antarctica. Quest. Even today, explorers continue their quest to reach a goal such as the summit of a mountain. A quest is a goal. R is for radar. Ships' offices use radar to detect icebergs in bad weather or when traveling at night. Rookery. A colony of nesting penguins lives in a rookery. They incubate their eggs on piles of small stones, and each pair defends their territory vigorously. A rookery. This group of penguins is called a rookery. S is for skis. Skis are used to slide over the snow. They prevent skiers from sinking into the soft snow and minimize the danger of falling down the crevices. A signpost. Signposts have been erected on many stations in Antarctica to show the vast distances to other places of the world. And seals. Most seals spend only the summer months in the Antarctic. The Weddell seal is the most friendly, while the elephant seal is the largest. Okay, So here's skis. They help them stay above the snow. This is a signpost, and it says how far it is to different places. So from Antarctica, it is 10,368 kilometers to India. It says Hamburg is that way, Dublin is that way, Castle Hill. This is Donald, 5,288 kilometers. So in various places in Antarctica, it'll show how far it is to other places. And here are the seals. T is for tent. The traditional polar pyramid tent provides secure shelter for a team of 3, even during the worst blizzard. A tunnel-like entrance helps keep out the wind and snow. Once made of heavy canvas, today very strong nylon is used in construction of tents. So this is a tent that they can stay in. Even during a very cold blizzard, they'll be able to stay warm. U is for underwater. Diving underwater in Antarctica is very cold, but marine life is extremely plentiful in the oxygen-rich water. Underwear. Long underwear is often warm, but normally it is covered by layers of warm clothing. This picture shows the author in his long underwear. So that must be a warmer day if he's able to wear his long underwear. Because usually it's covered up by other warm clothing as well. They dress in layers. V is for vehicle. Tracked vehicles are used to travel over the soft snow. Here, a Swedish-made Haglund crosses a tide crack in the frozen sea ice. A vest. Filled with down, a vest is often worn for extra warmth and protection. So there's a vehicle, and he's wearing a vest. Waterfall. Waterfalls are a rare sight in Antarctica, but occur sometimes in the summer when the sun shines around the clock. So that's like that picture I showed you in the cultural folder. Whale. The largest of mammals, whales were once plentiful in Antarctic waters, but today the humpback is seldom seen. So not so many whales in Antarctica anymore. And there's the waterfall right there. And that happens because the sun shines all the time in the summer. X. X marks the spot. Surveyors use the X to mark the spot as a reference point when mapping in Antarctica. These marks are so large they can be seen on aerial photographs. So look at that big X. So then from far away, when they're above the Earth, they can look down and take a photograph and see that X. Y is for yacht. Some private expeditions still sail aboard small yachts to reach the southern continent. The Australian Bicentennial Expedition sailed from Hobart to Cape Hallett in this 21-meter steel-hulled vessel. Z is for zero. Water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade. The air temperature in Antarctica is below 0 most of the time. Zipper. Survival suits below are necessary in the extreme conditions of Antarctica. Zippers make them easy to take off and put on. Zooplankton. These tiny sea animals can only be seen under a microscope. They provide food for the krill and are a vital link in the Antarctic food chain. So remember, the krill, most of the animals in Antarctica eat krill. Well, this is what krill eats. They're so small you can only see them under a microscope. Do you think the krill would survive if these weren't there? No. And then if the krill didn't survive, the other animals would not be able to survive. So very, very important. Thank you for reading with me about Antarctica. I'll see you later. Bye.